Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 24th, 2019. Strong hand. This is where the big boys play. Offended by selling. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Deferral of gratification. Don't FOMO on altcoins. All right. Check out all the links below. Get t-shirts like this. Support the show. Do whatever you want to do. Everything I talk about in this video, the pertinent links are all below. So you should do your homework after the show and check them all out. I wanted yesterday, at the end of yesterday's show, actually the show had gone off the air, and Vention, let's just call him Vention, the great Vention, you know his channel. He sent me $5, and it reminded me to check out a video of his that had a title that was like, everything was going so right. And then it hit me. He was still live in the chat. So I asked him, I knew he was going in for a colonoscopy, and I said, did your colon test, did it not go well? And he said, no, it didn't. And so that is what the video was about. So he's got a great attitude. I mean, he is ready for this thing. And he's, again, there's a tumor in his colon. And so I bring this up so everyone that's, over 50 gets it checked out like Vention did. He caught this thing early, and he's part of our Bitcoin community. He has done so many great things for Bitcoin, and he's got an open mind toward a lot of things, toward staying healthy. He's really flattered me, and it's an honor. He's told me that he's learned a lot from the shows where I talk about, eating healthy and all that stuff. So he's already changed his diet before he found out he had this issue. So let's all wish Vention well. The video in question where he talked, this is out in the open. He talks about it in a video that is linked to below. So Vention, thank you for the $5. You're going to do great, man. You're going to have a great retirement. And keep holding that Bitcoin. He's got a strong hand. And you know what? He loves to teach younger guys lessons. And I'm sure there'll be a lesson that comes out of this. And he's going to come to all sorts of new knowledge and new conclusions that he can teach all the young people for years to come. So Vention, thank you for he's never ashamed to tell us a story about where he messed up too with Bitcoin and stuff. And so I've learned a lot from Vention also. I really have. So we all support you, Vention, and everybody check out his video. Pound that like button for him on his video so everybody watches it. This is a good video. And of course, pound that like button here. Okay, someone sent me Dash recently, and thank you to the person who sent me Dash. That I got a Dash address below, and I don't check my crypto addresses very often, the donation addresses, and I'm sorry I don't do that for the people that I've missed in the past. But I do. If I've ever missed you, I am sorry, but I appreciate all the support from everyone out there. It's a great honor. All right, and let's. So something I talked about on yesterday's show, someone said that higher caliber buyers are coming soon. And I went into what that meant. But you want to be elite before those so-called high caliber buyers get in. That was a good way. So you're a high caliber person too. You are elite if you're already in this. So you beat them by a mile, okay? But once those big money, high caliber, long-term thinkers come in, when they're not scared anymore, the people who missed out are going to really regret it. So I made videos before, back in 2015, saying how elite you would be if you had 10 Bitcoin. And now look, it's come true. So, hey man, aim for that first Bitcoin, then 2, then 3. You'll be elite when the high caliber people are coming, and they have started to come already, and it'll be a tsunami eventually. And speaking of people who value their wealth in fiat, unfortunately, and not in Bitcoin, the people who worry about market bottoms and all that nonsense, there is an interesting tweet out there by Platazal, and he says it's conservative, not wrong. Buying after 2x from the bottom has never failed. So it's a very interesting point. He gives a chart there, and it shows that if you've, in terms of fiat, if you've for some reason concluded that, well, we had a bottom a while ago, and I'm only going to buy when it's double that number, those people have always done quite well. It indeed, once it's doubled, it hasn't gone back below the previous bottom. So with all of that in mind, I'm sharing this story because it's an interesting tweet, interesting theory, and interesting charts. But apparently the lowest lately was 31.48 in terms of fiat. I just want to like barf when I say fiat numbers. So double 31.48 is 62.96. So if it hits 62.96, I anticipate there are quite a few people who then just be like, I'm back in this game again. I'm back. I don't have anything to worry about. I got to get back in now, but it's not going to go much lower. It's not going to go below 31.48. Now, that is not the approach Adam Meister recommends at all. The approach is to value your wealth in Bitcoin. Get Bitcoin now. You don't care about these fiat prices, but we're dealing with the real world here. So if it gets to 62.96, I mean, it could, from there, it could go pretty wild at that point. It might sound, I mean, for those of you who get excited by those, $800 rising days, if it hits 62.96, it could go up a lot that day. It could be a fun day. Yeah. All right. Interesting tweet. Link to below. Moving on. Something I talked about yesterday. I know people don't mean harm when they say crypto portfolio. There's some people that it's a legitimate thing to them, but to me, it's so illegitimate when I see these people's so-called portfolios made up of ever-changing third tier and below altcoins. Okay, so these are the people who monkey branching from altcoin to altcoin, and then they brag about their altcoin portfolio. Okay, and as I said, those people with the portfolios, they end up with these diversified portfolios. They end up with cats, okay? Because they're playing around with altcoins. Then you got people like me, people like you, holders of last resort, the strong hands, the notorious BTC holders, okay? People who are like 95, their portfolio is 95% Bitcoin, okay? And it's only 95% Bitcoin because of various crypto dividends that have been thrown in there, various free coins that they've gotten here and there, and various with it, but not the people with the 95% Bitcoin portfolios, and maybe even lower than that, they end up with Bitcoin. So you can end up with cats, with the and it's so excited. I've got 10% Ripple, 10% this, 2% that, 1% IOTA. Or you could be boring and say, yep, I've got 95% Bitcoin, and the only reason I have others is just mistakes, or people gave me stuff for free. I didn't get rid of this crypto dividend, and that other 5% I want to turn into Bitcoin as soon as possible. Yeah, with that, you end up with a lot of Bitcoin. And so think of it that way, people. CraigShip.com sent $5. Alts are the danger zone. Stick with Bitcoin, BTC. Buy and hold. Pound that like button, CraigShip.com. Thank you very much. It's always good to hear from you in your undisclosed location near Camp David. Thank you for all your support. Moving on. What do we got? Oh, yes. So I'm reading Market Ticker. Again, Carl Denninger is the guy behind that blog. Talks a lot about economics, a little bit of politics in there too. Some health, some good health stuff. But no, he doesn't like Bitcoin. He doesn't like Bitcoin, all right? But all of a sudden I see today he's got a Bitcoin article in there. What the heck is going on? And of course, it's an article about the scams. And I've mentioned this email scam before. You get an email that it appears like they've hacked into your email because they're using your email address, but it's not them really using your email address. And they say they've hacked into your computer and they've watched you doing something illicit at your computer, and that they won't share the video they've taken of your member. And if you send them Bitcoin, and it's a total scam. It's a total. I mean, obviously I don't know how anyone would fall for this. I guess there are a lot of people that do nasty things on their computer and watch a lot of nasty things. And well, anyway, Carl talks about this, and he's kind of ripping on Bitcoin a little bit. But what it did was he lists the address, one of the addresses that's been sent out in this scam. Apparently, Carl's been getting this scam a lot. I've been getting it ever so often in random emails, and maybe you guys have been hearing a lot about it also. So he lists the Bitcoin address, and sure enough, the Bitcoin address has received over 0.33 Bitcoin from total from two different individuals. So two people fell for this recently, like in the last few days, in fact, fell for this thing recently. And the guy has already moved the Bitcoin he's received. So Carl is going crazy, like the FBI should be looking into this. Why aren't they? Bitcoin is so easily traceable. This person should be in prison. Well, again, this person probably could be tracked down who's doing this, okay? I mean, he's not a big time operator. He raised 0.33 Bitcoin through his scam. He could be like he could be in Nigeria. What can the FBI do to that person? I mean, nothing. It could be a foreigner. I mean, but another point from this, I Googled the address, okay? And I discovered a great website, and this is all linked to below, called bitcoinabuse.com. And there is a report on this specific address on that site. You can report scams like that. And many people have been doing this. Bitcoinabuse.com. And I never heard of this before. And this is just a great public service. And it just shows how the community, people can come up with cool ideas like this. This person is in motion, came up with a great site. And I want to help make it popular. And it'll help police the whole crypto space, Bitcoin space. Bitcoinabuse.com is a public database of Bitcoin addresses used by criminals. Criminals are moving online now more than ever. And it talks about stuff like, I'm not going to say the word because YouTube all of a sudden says I thinks I'm doing something that I'm not doing if I say a certain word. Anyway, all this stuff is spreading all the time. And this site is out there to spread the word and to show people that, hey, if you've gotten an email with a Bitcoin address in it and it seems shady, report it here, look it up here. You can look it up here, and you can reassure yourself that no, your computer wasn't hacked. So check that out. I thought it was a great, and I haven't heard about this before. Hey, it's the kind of stuff you hear about on the Bitcoin Meister show. Bitcoinabuse.com. Check it out. Pound that like button. All right, now here's a Breaker Magazine article, and it shows how early we are that this actually has not happened yet. This is about Ameritrade. And, well, this is their summary of the situation. You can decide for your own self what you think. You can check out the Breaker Magazine article. While we currently offer access to Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin is not available for spot trading on TD Ameritrade's platform. We always look to implement products our clients have demand for. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, we take a deliberate approach with a focus on education. And so Breaker Magazine interprets this as, this is an intentional cryptic way of saying we're seriously considering selling Bitcoin. Describing a deliberate approach with a focus on education suggests they're doing it carefully, but are in fact moving forward. All right. So Breaker Magazine is saying Ameritrade will go, TD Ameritrade, whatever you want to call them, will be trading Bitcoin soon. Eventually, it just shows you how early we are that they're not allowing Bitcoin trading on there yet. That is how one day we're going to look back and you'll be able to do it on E-Trade, Ameritrade, everything, and we'll laugh. We'll be like, oh, there were times when there were only crypto only exchanges. There weren't these the traditional exchanges that let you trade stocks and let you trade crypto. But yeah, right now that is not the case. But it just shows you how early we are that you can't. That right now on this date in April of 2019, you can't trade Bitcoin on Ameritrade. I'm sure if you're watching this in the future, you're laughing your butt off. All right. By By the way, all of you should check out disruptmeister.com. Check out the archives. Almost 1,300 shows now. Almost 1,300 Adam Meister Bitcoin crypto shows. Wow, man. That's conviction. Pound that like button. Have conviction. Have a strong hand, people. You know, have a positive attitude like Vention, man. You can defeat anything. Speaking of early, here's another thing. And I've been saying this for a while about the 2017 so-called bubble that we had in altcoins and Bitcoin, that was nothing. That's nothing. That was not, it wasn't even like the .com. We haven't had our .com bubble moment yet. I've said this many times. And it is exciting to be alive now, knowing that we haven't had a .com bubble moment yet in Bitcoin and crypto. That we're in for some wild times. And people, when that .com bubble moment happens in Bitcoin, people are going to remember 2017. They're going to remember how fun that was, and they're just going to pile in. So here's the Nick Carter. It's a little bit of a summary of his tweet thread. It is linked to below. You should read the entire thread. He says, in terms of adoption by number of users, public blockchains are roughly where the internet was in 1996 to 1997. So why did we have such a large bubble in 2017? Whereas the internet bubble took longer to develop, the .com bubble was, okay, so here are some reasons. The .com bubble was recent memory for those over 30. So people were already aware. We're already aware that digital property is amenable to rapid run-ups. Anticipating this, they bid up the price of crypto assets in expectation. So basically, this became a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is so the 20 that is why why it even got up as high as it did, because people had remembered the .com bubble, but it was not the same as the .com bubble. It was kind of taking fuel from that .com bubble, the 2017 situation. The 2017 bubble was smaller than so the 2017 bubble was smaller than people think. Okay, everyone cites the aggregate market cap figures, but those are spurious. By adding up miner revenue, you get about you get $15 billion worth of inflows into proof of work chains all time. 2017 looked big because we had bad metrics. We now know that exchanges are not to be trusted. Data aggregators are not to be trusted. And there was lots of internet leverage in the system, inherent leverage in the system, sorry. Paper gains as a consequence were just paper. So what we had in 2017 was bigger than it really was. So the big one has not come yet. It has not come yet. So you can get excited. You can get excited from some tweets and he's telling people don't get excited. But hey, you can decide how excited you want to be. Read it. It's linked to below. That's for tomorrow. I'm going to talk about some remittance issues tomorrow, but on that, and give you a link to a site that the United States government basically they facilitate remittances between people who are in America back to Mexico. Are they illegal? Who knows? But with all that in mind, that could be shut off one day, and we'll get into that. But an article from CoinDesk, and again, I don't like quoting CoinDesk, but it's a reminder. 2,000 more U.S. grocery stores enable Bitcoin buying at Coinstar machines. Supermarket kiosk chain Coinstar is expanding the footprint of its Bitcoin buying service to more than 2,000 locations in 19 different states. So, my reason for bringing that up, when they do shut down the remittances to Mexico, if the U.S. government shuts down the traditional means, people will just they go to their supermarket kiosk in L.A. and buy Bitcoin there, and then they'll send the Bitcoin through Bitcoin back to their Mexican relative with a Bitcoin address. Okay, So, and that you can't shut down. That is unconfiscatable right there. So that's another step toward making the shutting down of remittances, shutting down Western Union wires to Mexico is something that won't matter as much, and something. Hey, it's good that people will be able to buy Bitcoin from these grocery stores. It's a different way of doing it, and again, that could, eventually, once a Bitcoin gets associated more with bad things, there could be some politician, some virtue signaling politician that says, let's shut down these Coinstar machines. But we're still a little way off from there, and I'm just talking about the remittances side of things. And of course, the huge issue that we hear about of remittances, illegals only come here because they can send the money back to, if they couldn't send money back to Mexico or Honduras, they wouldn't come here. All right. That's for another show. And that's for tomorrow, actually. Check out sportsmeister.com also to see all of my, listen to all of the podcast versions of the show. Hopefully there'll be an earlier show tomorrow also. This one was a little early. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Like this video, pound that like button, bang that bell button to get a reminder when we go live, if YouTube feels like it. And click on the squares to check out the recent shows. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'll talk to those of you who are in the chat right this second. Bye-bye.